Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Happy Veterans Day or Remembrance Day if you're in the UK. Hope you are all doing great. I hope you are having beautiful sunshine. Although, if you're in New York, many people in New York have been like, we need rain. Yes, we do. I hate rain. So I'm not like, even though we need it, I'm not like, okay, we need it. Maybe it'll come, it could come when we're sleeping. I'm fine with that. The rest, no. But it's nice and bright and sunshiny in New York, and I'm enjoying it. So sorry for all of you who are screaming about we need rain. We do, but when I want it, which is at night when we're sleeping. So yeah. Anyways, now you know how I think. I'm just very selfish in this way. But anyways, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, guys, I know this is very impromptu. I was planning to just do a recording of it, and at the last minute, and like what is like 2:30 or something. I'm like, nah, let's just do a live. And I was like, okay, I know this is a little last minute, but okay, let's do it. I'm totally not even so prepared as I should be, but we'll see what happens. So welcome to all of my friends who are in the chat. Thank you so much for indulging me in this my crazy, crazy, crazy schedule. So hi Matarazzi Sound, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Connie Bama, hello, Connie. Welcome, Connie, joining us from Switzerland. Karen M is here, our awesome moderator. Hi, Karen M, our awesome. So happy you are here. Lakiva is here. Eco Girl is here. Karen Warner is here. We have our two Karens here. Hello, guys. Hello, Karen. Mad World is here. Hi, Mad World. Mama Jane. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And welcome to all of our other friends who are listening, but not necessarily in the live, and all who would join us if they can. I know people, it's Monday. So people are at work doing their stuff, they have places to go, people to see, and all that wonderful stuff. So if they join us, great. If not, they can watch on replay if they'd like. But anyway, so today we are honoring our veterans and our active servicemen and women, really, who are serving whatever country they're in. And so today in the US it's Veterans Day, in the UK it's Remembrance Day. And so our own Prince Harry, a veteran of especially serving in Afghanistan and serving in the UK military for over 10 years, and has continued to serve, as as they always say, one served, always serving. And we know Prince Harry in so many ways has been serving, especially the veterans community and so many other communities, as we know. And all of us who follow Prince Harry and Meghan, the wife of a veteran, they have been doing incredible work in so many different areas. And so in honor of today, Prince Harry posted a letter on Archwell's website. And so this is what the letter says. It says, statement from Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, says, my fellow veterans, as we mark both Veterans Day and Remembrance Day, I reaffirm my lifelong admiration and appreciation for the service and sacrifice you and your families have made, both in times of conflict and peace. You have played a vital role in defending the values of liberty, freedom, and security. These values bind us together and have shaped you as leaders and role models. At a time of global uncertainty, remember the unity and the purpose that defined your service, and do not hesitate to put that into action in your communities. That same spirit should guide all of us in facing today's challenges. Your example and morality demonstrates that true power lies in your ability to unite and confront the obstacles before us. As you continue to serve, making valued contributions to communities, colleagues, households, and all those we love, my hope is that our communities will continue to serve your needs too. Your contributions do not stop because you no longer wear a uniform. And the collective sense of appreciation for what you've done for your countries should not stop either. Let today be a reminder that the true measure of gratitude is not the words alone, but in our actions and in our ongoing efforts to build a world worthy of the sacrifices that those before us have made, and to protect it for generations to come. To all those who have served, past and present, I offer my deepest respect and thanks. Your service have made a lasting positive impact for our communities, our nations, and our shared future. I am honored to stand with you. And it's such a powerful letter and statement to his fellow veterans from our own Prince Harry. And of course, Prince Harry, I love, these are probably my two favorite photos of Harry in his uniform. Harry, of course, as a young man or a younger man. Harry's still a young dude, even he has just turned 40, as we know, but this is him in his 20s in Afghanistan. And of course, this photo, sad, obviously very sad time for him. This was a photo of him at the service, the funeral service, or one of the viewing actually for his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. That was a couple of years ago. But of course, Harry in a uniform is like nothing else. Sorry, I'm being a little bit like shallow at the moment. But Harry in a uniform is just a beautiful thing. So yeah. So, but again, back to the letter. Very, very, very powerful statement from Prince Harry, and to all the veterans who are serving, who have served, and who are serving in the militaries now. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all you do in so many ways to protect. And as we know, one served, always serving. So yeah, very, very powerful. Thank you, Prince Harry. And this is so wonderful. Last episode we talked about Prince Harry obviously sending a letter to the Scotty's little soldiers. Of course, these are, if you, just in case you are not part of the Sussex Squad community and you don't know what this is, Scotty's little soldiers. These are children and young people who have lost a or both parents in active duty. And so Jill Scott, whose husband she also lost her husband, and I think her husband died in Afghanistan. She started this organizations to help children and young people who are dealing with that loss. And in the organization is incredibly successful. It's been going for quite a while in the UK. Again, I don't know if there's any chapter in the US. I've never heard, or I'm assuming there's most likely organizations like it in the US. I just have not heard of it. And so they do that in the UK. So all of these kids come together, and Prince Harry, who obviously he has been in the military and I've also lost a parent as a young child, understands so well what these kids are going through and go through. And every year, especially around this time, would be a traumatic time for them, and he has been there for them, and he is now the global ambassador, and he's been a part of Scotty's Little Soldiers for a few years now. And I think it was last year that they've named him the global ambassador for Scotty's Little Soldiers. And so in May, we were talking about this the last episode. In May, actually, turns out it was May that he was back there, and he was with them, spent so much time with them. They were playing games and eating candies and all of that stuff. They were just having a grand old time in May when Harry was back in the UK. And so for this event, for yesterday's event, when they went marching, you see them, the bottom picture there. Hopefully you can see that well, with them marching, I guess, to the cenotaph yesterday. Prince Harry sent them a letter, which we read the last episode. And what we didn't know is Harry also sent them little treats. So I think this was Sky News doing an interview with Jill Scott and this young lady. That's them in the inset picture there. And along with the letter, Harry sent all the kids treats. He sent them candies. And oh no, I realized I forgot to upload the recording of the young, you know what, I'll just put it on our community page so that you can hear it. It was so cute. What she said was that along with the letter, Prince Harry sent them these little treats, as you can see at the bottom, with a bunch of candies and stuff, so that they can have it and to eat it, just in case they got hungry along the way. And if you know anything about these parades or any kind of parades, it takes a long time, and you're out there in the hot sun, And so these poor kids are probably like, I'm hungry. You know how kids are. And so Harry thinking, and I'm thinking, I'm sure Meghan has a hand in this too, because this is exactly how Meghan thinks. They're like, let's give the kids some treats so that, it's long and it's a hard day and it's an emotional day, and anything to get them to keep their energy up, to keep them from being hungry. And so he sent them bags of treats. And so by the time they were doing that interview, Jill was saying that the girl had started eating hers. So I don't blame her. You're out there in a long, hot day. You need some candies to keep your energy up and to keep you really from being hungry. So it was just so thoughtful that it wasn't just a letter, but they thought it through to send all the kids bags of treats so that they can have candies and stuff while they're out there, and really to lift their spirits, because kids and candies. So yeah, but I love that. I absolutely love that. And there was a cute little video, little audio that I downloaded and forgot to upload the video. So I'm sorry, guys. I was like, how did I forget this? But anyways, but I thought that was very, very nice of Prince Harry to do. And just, again, really just thinking about them in every way. Yeah. So Karen Warner says that is a powerful letter. I'm assuming you mean letter to all veterans around the world. Love Prince Harry in uniform. Those are my favorites too. Oh, see, we're thinking alike here. And also the pictures in uniform in Jamaica. My mom loves to see her son in. Okay, I guess you're gonna write more. But yeah, no, I mean Prince Harry in uniform is amazing. It is absolutely, absolutely amazing. So yeah, but yeah, no, I just Lakiva said thank you for your service, Prince Harry. And she also says, I believe Harry loves this country, but will never return to that jacked up royal family. I mean, Prince Harry talks about his country all the time. He loves it. He loved his country. I mean, the man served his country for 10 years. He doesn't owe him anything, and so. And he also loved the U.S. He has such a great relationship with the United States military. Absolutely wonderful relationship he has with them. He loves them. They love him. They just really bond. And so, I mean, it was, hey. And it's so cool because, even with this letter, like Harry did not put a photo of him, just made it about the veterans. It's not about him. Even though it really should be, he is a veteran. He's not just saying that. He's like, this is his community. So yeah, but he just posted that letter and make it about them. So it's just, Harry is he's so humble. I love it. I so love it. The humble prince, and we love him. And if that's not enough, guys, I feel like we've just like turned back time. If I could turn back time. If I could find a way. And I think that's what Cher's, I think that's the lyrics to Cher song. Sorry, Cher, if I just butchered your lyrics. But guys, we have just turned back time. We're in the end of 2024 and we're still talking about Spare. As you know, Spare came out, the paperback came out the 22nd of October. And I haven't even gotten the soft cover yet. And so, but in the UK, according to the Sunday Times, Spare is back to number one. It is number one in the UK as the Sunday Times bestseller lists the UK definitive book chart. Spare, number one, Spare by Penguin Random House. The Duke of Sussex experiences as a member of the royal family. And it's just like Prince Harry has not added anything to this book. He has not talked about this paperback. He has done no promotion, like zero. I mean, Penguin Random House just literally told the world, yeah, it's coming out the 22nd of October. And that was it. That was it. And they did that months ago. Nothing. Harry he added nothing to this book. And there we are, back to number one. Which must really gnaw at all of those royal biographers that have been all over, whether it's TV and radio and podcasts and everything, trying to hawk their lying books. And nobody's paying attention, including one in the royal family himself, that rugby dude. None of them, I have not heard any of them being anywhere close to this, close to these lists at all. It's like, and thank you, squatties, for leaving nasty people's books alone. Nobody has mentioned anything about their books, and people have just let their books die, including the British public. And there is Prince Harry doing nothing, literally nothing, adding not even a word to this. And is back to number one. I was like, you go, Prince Harry. And again, I'm so happy that he did not add anything, because this is a historical document. He left it as is because it's a historical document. There are no changes, no updated. That means he said what he said. No matter how much the British press want to claim that Harry regrets this and regrets that, and he is upset about this, and now they're like, oh, he didn't want to change it because he didn't want to upset the family, whatever. Prince Harry said what he said, and that's it. He's not changing a word. And I just love it. And I love this, this little this little thing that I have there with the crown and number one. I was like, yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. I was just like, you go, Prince Harry. And again, I feel like I'm back in January of 2023, or really all of 2023, because all of 23 was Prince Harry's fair. So here we are at the end of 2024, and we're back to number one. I'm telling you, this book is like that little engine that could, that little spare that could. So congratulations, Prince Harry. You are king, dude. You are total king. And I saw this last night. I almost peed myself. I don't really pay attention to Angela Levin, but someone posted a screenshot, and I had to go over to Angela Levin's page and just put it, because I was just like, and I was just like making fun with graphics. So you can just excuse my graphics, my LOL graphics down the bottom there. I was like, Angela Levin posted this. Prince Harry's book Spare, now in paperback, has gone to the top of Sunday Times paperback bestsellers. No further comment. And it's the no further comment for me. Because poor Angela Levin has been trying desperately to get anybody to care about her books, including one. I think the last one she wrote was about Camilla. That's in the dustbin of somebody's trash somewhere. And Angela Levin is like, no further comment. Angela, with all the ways, I mean, she's probably thinking, I have done everything to destroy this man who I'm, I go to sleep at night wishing that would marry me. This man who I tried to destroy. This man who I've said all these nasty things. And here he is, back to number one. What is... Poor Angela, she's run out of words. I love it. I absolutely love it. And squatties have to go around and just make fun of Angela. And that's, remember that Jimmy Fallon Tonight Mares with Harry? And somebody put Angela. And you remember this scene with the scary person in the middle there? They exchanged it for Angela. And you was thinking, well, actually, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe Angela is having nightmares. I was just like, oh my goodness, poor Angela. She's like, no comment, no further comment. I cannot speak. I've done everything to destroy this man. How can you make his paperback number one? What about me? What about my book about Camilla? I love it. Oh my goodness. So Angela, please let that no further comment be your guide and stay silent. Nobody wants to hear from you. Whatever it is you say, nobody wants to hear from you. Stay silent. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. There's been so many things going on around me, and I have not laughed like this in a long time. And I just died. I'm like, when I saw this, I was like, so I needed to laugh. I don't know. It's probably just ridiculous and silly. And it is. But sometimes just the silliest things just make you laugh, and I'm like, I'm all here for it. So there you go. So Angela, I mean, I don't know. I haven't gone back to her page. I only just went to get this. So I don't know if she's been speaking since, but hopefully she keeps that up. Anyways, away from our faves doing amazing, over to Shutter Island. And remember yesterday, this whole weekend actually for the British is Remembrance Weekend. It's all about the veterans, all about remembering and honoring and really saying thank you to the men and women who have sacrificed their life, who have given up, made the greatest sacrifices. And we just talked about those little kids who lost their parent or both parents in combat. And so this should have been the time, and this should always be the time where it's all about the veterans. It is all about saying thank you in every way, whether it's be speech, whether it's be in the news, especially in the news media. But if you didn't know that, and if you didn't know it was Remembrance Weekend, and you look in the papers in the UK, you would never guess that this is Remembrance Weekend, when we're supposed to be, and people in the UK are supposed to be focused on men and women who have sacrificed their life for their country, and many of whom are still suffering because of the sacrifices they've made for their country. But if you look at the press, whether it's on TV or in the printed press, this is what you find. This is the despicableness of the UK media. Because I'm thinking, if I served my country, and this is supposed to be the weekend where that country honors, the least you would expect, the least, is that the three most powerful divisions or the most powerful sectors in your nation would honor you and say thank you. And to open your press and to open and walk by newspapers yesterday in the UK and find this would be such a slap in the face. And especially what we know that the royals have been doing, especially to the military. How King Charles and Prince William's duchies, the Duchy of Lancaster, the Duchy of Cornwall, have been basically fleecing the military. And charging them these exorbitant rent to train on their facilities and to train on their land and to use it, whatever. And then come out there yesterday in all of these decorated and all of, they call themselves commander of this and general of this, with medals that they did not earn and uniforms they did not earn. And then to see this nonsense displayed under, like, I don't know how British people do this. Like, I don't know how you do this and be silent and be, I just, look at all the press. And this is just the ones that could fit on the page. I didn't even put the rest of them there. They made this whole day about Kate Middleton and the rest of the royals. But the majority, as you can see, it's all about Kate. Only the Express, the lowly Express, had this vaguely a bit of decency to add 2 vets on there. But it's all about Kate and the royals and what they're going to do. And I just find this so despicable in so many ways. And again, especially in light of what just been exposed by Channel 4 dispatches and the Sunday Times and the Mirror. And even the Mirror, as you can see, joined in there. Kate is the one that they have on the front pages. And I get, like, okay, Kate is going to sell new. Really? This is just so deplorable to me. I don't even. And I guess maybe the British people are so numb to this, they're not even paying attention. Maybe they're just like, okay, whatever. But this, as a veteran, this is just so disgusting. and deplorable. That these are the people that you're going to focus on when people are literally lost children, lost their parents, veterans losing their lives, and are still going through the horrors of what war has done to them and their family. And these leeches are who you're going to put on the front page and honoring instead of the men and women who sacrificed their life. I am just like, maybe I should be like Angela Levin. No further comment. Moving on. Well, actually, we're going to comment on this and then we'll go to something else. And it's so weird because I guess this is a thing. I mean, I had never paid attention to it before, and it's kind of small, so I don't even know if you can read it. But apparently, Prince William, as you can see, the bottom right picture, right picture, you see a photo down there, very small photo of Prince William laying a wreath at the cenotaph. And that's a picture of Kate Middleton yesterday. They're all there. Of course, Kate comes out for the pictures as usual. And apparently, if you look there on the left, it says 2024. There are little photos of the little cards that they put there as to who the wreaths are from. And if you look at right above the photos of William and Kate, you see and it's hard to read it because it's a little faded. And it says like in memory and something. And at the bottom, apparently that is Prince William's signature at the bottom there. I don't even know what that is. I was like, look at chicken scratches. But apparently that is William's signature. That's on his wreath. And people are like, well, where is Kate Middleton's signature? And it's not there. And apparently if you look at the picture on the left, the top one is what he did yesterday, which is with his signature. On the 2022 and the 2023 on the bottom left, it has his chicken scratches there, and you can barely see Kate's name at the bottom, Catherine at the bottom there. And so don't really know why she didn't sign the card as well. But apparently this year it's only Williams. So whatever that means, I have no idea. So, but apparently it's a thing. So, people, their conspiracies. Oh, is there something going on? Why Kate, I don't know. I don't know why her signature isn't there this time, because it was there before. As you can see, 2022, 2023, it was both of their signatures there. But this year is just Williams. And so it could also be that Kensington Palace wants people to do exactly what I just did and talk about them. That could just be. So we'll just stop. So I brought it up because people did, and I don't know why it is only his signature or his chicken scratch, but I don't know. I have no idea. Church Nelly is here. Hello, Church Nelly. How are you today? How are you feeling? Thank you so much for posting these links. I appreciate it. Just check out Church Nelly's links if you want anything. And also, this is Duchess of Success book. Please get it. Support her if definitely a really, really great book. So I'm not finished reading it yet. So I will tell you about it when I'm done. Let's see. Yes. But I am happy you're here, Church Nelly. Welcome. And so moving on from the royal mess, again, don't know what that's about. Back to our faves. Yes. Well, this is so exciting. Travalyst, they are celebrating. And as we know, Travalyst has been doing amazing things. If you don't know what Travalyst is, it's Prince Harry has created this non-for-profit where whenever I use Expedia. So whatever travel agency you use, whether Expedia or any of the others, they work with this company, Travalyst, that Prince Harry has created. So when you're going to book your flight, you will see carbon emissions and all of that information there. So to let you know how green your flight is, or how green your hotel, or wherever it is you're going, how green it is, or wherever you're staying. A lot of that information, actually, majority of that information comes from Travalyst. They have teamed up with all of these, whether it's Visa or Expedia or any of these travel-related companies. They work with Travalyst, and you get all that green information you need to make the best decision that you can make when you are traveling, etc. And so Condé Nast Travelers Bright Ideas, apparently I guess they put this out every year, and for 2024 Travalyst is on their list as the Condé Nast Travelers Bright Idea in Travel 2024. So Travalyst, I guess this is the first time they've made the list. And so they are on against Condé Nast, who again, Condé Nast is a conglomerate that owns tons of magazines. Probably the majority of magazines that you have out there is owned by Condé Nast. And so their Travelers Bright Idea in Travel for 2024, Travalyst is on the list. So they are celebrating. I'm going to move my little banner from there, the bottom, so I can read it a little bit. As the banner says, if you're here and have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell so you know when we drop a video, and please like and share the video and join the channel if you are able. So yeah, so I'm just going to move my little banner there. Where is it? Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. And be able to read. So this is from Travalyst. It says, we are thrilled to be featured in the Condé Nast Travelers Bright Ideas and Travel List 2024 in the category of organizations and operators. The list recognizes trailblazers who have demonstrated a positive impact on the travel industry in 2024 or celebrated a significant milestone in their efforts to prove how travel can move our world forward. And so this is the little clip from the Condé Nast post. And so they have a list of bright ideas or a list of different organizations and stuff. And so this is what they said about Travalyst. It says, founded by Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, this non-for-profit brings together travel platforms to present travelers with reliable, easy-to-face sustainability information at the time of booking. Travalyst coalition partners such as Expedia and Booking.com have aligned on using emissions estimates from its travel impact model, developed by Google as of September 2024 this year. These estimates have appeared in more than 65 billion flight searches. That's right, 65 billion flight searches. Use Travalyst. Yes, Travalyst information. It says now Travalyst is expanding to accommodation sector by vetting existing sustainability certifications used by hotels and vacation rentals against its own set of criteria. In August 2024, Travalyst announced an initial list of 49 certifications found to be compliant after an independent review, making it easier for travelers to book truly sustainable properties. So Travalyst is doing their thing in travel, all created by Prince Harry. How amazing is this? I'm telling you, this man is amazing. This man is amazing. And so we are proud of our Prince Harry doing his stuff. And again, wherever you're booking stuff, look for those, carbon emission stuff, any of that stuff you need, and know that most of that stuff comes from Travalyst. So very, very, very exciting. So congratulations. And I love this. I love how Prince Harry is able to travel around total ninja. Totally ninja. Nobody knew anything about this until a couple days later. I mean, Glancer magazine, who I've never heard of before, I guess it's in Chicago somewhere, it says Tillman Foundation annual Tillman Honors Gala was held in the Union League Club in Chicago, November 6th, raising $1 million for the program. The Tillman Foundation annual Tillman Honors Gala, held at the Union League Club in Chicago on November 6th, honored 2 decades of empowering nearly 1,000 Tillman scholars who exemplify the values Pat stood for: service, scholarship, humble leadership, and impact. Almost 400 guests attended, including Marie Tillman Shenton, that's her sitting next to Prince Harry and talking to Prince Harry there, including Marie Tillman Shenton, chair and co-founder of the Pat Tillman Foundation, Arizona Cardinals owner and president Michael Bidwell, NFL legends Charles Peanut Tillman, Jake Plummer, Aeneas Williams, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and 40 Tillman scholars. Together, they pay tribute to Pat's legacy and help fundraise for the Tillman Scholar Program, which provides leadership development, career architecture, academic scholarship, and a lifelong community to active duty service members, veterans, and military spouses. So this whole past week is for Prince Harry has all been about serving and doing everything he can for the military community. And of course, we know Prince Harry received the Pat Tillman Award a few months ago, and here he is again. And again, the whole thing is so amazing because, as it says, 400 guests went to this, and nobody said a word until Glancer a couple days later put this out there. Nobody knew this happened. And I'm telling you, and again, that's how America is. It's like, if this was in the UK, that would have been, ew. Everybody would have known about that before it happened. And I just love, and I love how the Tillman Foundation did it, because the last time we know the whole hubbub before Prince Harry received that award at the ESPYs. And we know all of that nonsense that the Daily Mail created with Pat Tillman's mother and all of that stuff. And I love how they did this, that they said nothing about it, that the event was able to go off. Nobody knew it was there. 400 guests came and nobody said a word until Glancer put this out a couple of days later. It is amazing. And again, I love how Prince Harry was able to go to Chicago, do this. Nobody knew. And I'm so blown away. And you could only imagine all the different things that they've done, him and Meghan have done, that nobody knows, because they're able to travel around the US like anyone else. People in the US, unless you're really paying attention, they could just travel anywhere. And people, unless you know and you're paying attention, you just don't know. And so I love that he was just able to do it privately, do his stuff, and then we find out later. And so again, you can imagine all the things that they do that we just don't know anything about. And I love that for them. I love that for them, that they can have their privacy to just live their life in the US and do their thing. And if they want, they can tell us later. We don't need to know before. They can just tell us later. That's totally fine. And it's very funny because all of this happened and you realize not much press pick this up, especially in the UK, because again, they only want things that they could break, so that way they can get, they can make money off of it. And other outlets in the US have picked it up after, but very few people, outlets in the UK have picked the story up, because then again, they can't claim like, oh, it's an exclusive. Because it's not. So I absolutely love it. I love it. And I love the 400 guests there. And Harry, as you can see on the top picture, did sort of like a talk back with, I guess, the scholars who receive, I guess they receive grants and stuff. And again, this is for military families. And so, and again, they, him and this panel did this talk back with this group. And I love that. I so love that. Harry is so embedded in the military community. It is, talk about the most overqualified Tillman Award nominee or recipient. It's just amazing. So absolutely, absolutely wonderful. Church Nelly's like, whoa, 400 guests and nobody said a word. Amazing. I know, right? 400 people and nobody said a word. It is amazing. And again, it's how, people in the US, they love Prince Harry and stuff, but we're not as enamored with all things royalty as the British press would want people to believe, So it's like, okay, that was great. And then again, these are military people. So they are they don't go out there doing stuff like, I guess, regular folks. So, but anyways, I love it. I love how he's able to just be ninja like this. And I love that for them in the US. I'm happy you're here, Nash. Says, hey, Pedal and Scotty, I'm so happy you can catch your live podcast. Hope you're doing well. I am doing okay. I'm doing fine. And so, yeah, thank you so much for asking or saying. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm okay. So, yes. What else is happening? What else I got? But I love that. Oh, right. Maybe I should have switched these when I talked about this, because now we're going back to the UK, and I'm like, this is one of those things you like heavy sigh, just heavy, heavy, heavy sigh. Apart from Kate Middleton and the British press, instead of honoring the veterans, have decided to honor Kate Middleton for what I have no idea. It's like it. Anyways, King Charles to open 2 food distribution hubs to mark his 76th birthday. The hubs, designed to save and circulate tons of food surplus, are part of a coronation food are part of a coronation food project, which is marking his first anniversary. Which is marking its first anniversary. The opening of the centers will also mark the first anniversary of the Coronation Food Project, an initiative to support charities that feed the nation with, I kid you not, with unwanted food. Charles, who celebrates his birthday next Thursday, will open the initiative for the Charles, who celebrates his birthday next Thursday, will open the initiative's first 2 coronation food hubs, one in person and one virtually, which are designed to save and circulate tons of surplus food. It is hoped that the hubs will aid charities like Fair Share and the Felix Project in supporting communities in need. In other words, King Charles is giving unwanted food to people who he scammed out of their tax dollars. Sorry, I'm screaming because in my heart, I'm like, I read this and I wanted to scream. This man is milking money from the British taxpayers. And his way, instead of paying that money back to the NHS, paying that money back to the military and the charities, especially ones that he is patrons of, instead of paying them money that he's fleeced from them and paying taxes, again, all the duchy money that him and William get, they are tax-free. They have to pay no tax on any of it. Instead of paying their taxes and their back taxes, let me come up with a food bank to give people unwanted food. I'm telling you, I don't know how British people could calmly sit there and allow this to happen. I really don't know. And then Sky News have the gall and audacity to put a basket there of canned foods. Canned foods to people that you have been fleecing of tax dollars. Oh, let me give those people unwanted canned foods, while I take their millions and get the prime ribs and all the things that I'm eating. So I can grow these organic fruits so I can eat those. But let me just give our subjects unwanted food, canned food, no less. I don't know how British people sit there and allow this. I don't know how you do it. This is not an elected official. Nobody elected this person. Nobody elected them. And yet they are allowed to take all of this money tax-free and have the nerve, gall, and audacity to create more food banks why are there food banks in this country when you have the money to give this scam artist almost 126 million pounds that he doesn't earn, and then both duchies making over $20 million a year on top of all that tax-free? I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't understand why this is allowed. And that's why it was so galling to see pictures of these people on the front pages of paper, basically honoring them as opposed to people who has given up their lives. And I know many of the people who are gonna, who are in need, whether it be housing or food or money to take care of their families, are veterans. They're veterans who they claim to be honoring yesterday. I don't understand it. This is just so despicable to me. That they would sit there and like, oh, let me create 2 food banks. No, you need to pay your taxes. You need to pay back the money that you have basically fleeced from the people so that companies and whomever could pay people a living wage where they're not food banks. They're not going to food banks. The UK doesn't need food banks. They need you, people like you, to pay your taxes. You and the other aristos in the UK that are fleecing people that they are not paying any taxes, and they get all of this, their ancestors passing down all of those stuff to that, all of that money and all of that stuff to them. They have to pay no inheritance tax whatsoever. And then your answer to that is, oh, well, yeah, let me come up with some food banks of unwanted food. I'm like, Traditionally says, does the British people even care? Are they protest? No, they're not protesting. That's what I'm like. Yeah, they're just so like, okay, I guess we're gonna have unwanted canned foods. And Terry's like, wait, Terry, I think this just jumped. Where's Terry's comment? Terry's like, he's giving unwanted expired food to his subjects. I wouldn't be shocked if it's expired. If they're giving it away, I'm sure it's expired. You remember that story of the Queen? There's like there's some royal store, I guess, in the palaces. They have like these shops. They have that sell royal things. And the Queen used to give her staff, for Christmas and stuff, she used to give them stuff that are expired or nearly expiring. That's what she used to give people as gifts. And I was just like, what? Yeah. Just to give them. That's why when people like, oh, yes, they have the Maundy service where the Queen used to give people like a quarter, I guess, or some craziness like that. I'm like, you mean you're going to these service to get a quarter from the Queen? I just can't. Even while she's robbing the dead, while they're, charging people to use a bathroom, while they're doing all this stuff, it doesn't seem British people care. It doesn't seem like they are going to do or say anything about it. Mama Jane says, exactly, church, they don't care. That's why they don't have respect for them. Yeah, the royals and stuff, they have no respect for these people. They know they're just going to accept it. You don't see much complaint even after the Dispatches documentary or their investigation came out. Some people, but the majority of people are okay. Oh well, all right, okay. Lorna says unwanted food doesn't always mean expired. And UK farmers have crops that are rotting in the field because they don't have pickers. So instead of let them rot, they give it to food banks. The point of very true, very true. Because a lot of the food pickers, I'm assuming, because of Brexit, they probably expelled a lot of the people who would normally work these jobs. And, they're coming to take our jobs. And then, well, they expelled a lot of the people. So now there's nobody to go pick the foods. I remember it was a couple of years ago. I think it was may have been during COVID, that even King Charles was trying to get people to volunteer to come pick foods from the duchy farms. And people are like, no. So, yeah. But I think Brexit has a lot to do with that. But still, there need to not be food banks. The point of the matter is these people are fleecing the taxpayers out of their money. This needs to not happen. UK doesn't need 2 more food banks. UK needs people like this to be paying their taxes. How many of these people have all of this money that they pay no taxes? Why does the royal family have the sovereign grant plus 2 duchies? Why? Take back the sovereign grant, take back one of the duchies, and they could use one to do all the stuff they're going to do. Or literally take them back and let them, they have enough money. If they want to go kinging and queening, fine, you could do that, but do it on your own dime. King Charles is worth over 600 and something million pounds. He does not need this money. This is just greed. Let them king and queen if they want to, but let them do it on their own dime and give this money to the people who need it. If this money that the royal family get every year simply go to the people of the country, the UK people, you wouldn't be needing food banks. The royal family doesn't need this money. This is just greed. Plain and simple greed. The duchy lands, a land that they stole. It's not theirs. They stole it. That land should go back to the people where it belongs, not to the royal family. And definitely, even if you're doing it, definitely not tax-free. That's ridiculous. The ridiculous idea is that they even have food banks in the first place. This is craziness. And for them to make this all about Charles and his 76, but like, dude, boo. Boo to you. This is disgraceful. But of course, no one's going to say that to him. They're all going to be like, oh, Charles is doing the great things. Moving on. Away from the royals. And finally, and I'll come to the chat and stay in the chat for a bit, it says, in honor of Veterans Day and Remembrance Day, Invictus Games, obviously. I love that photo on the right. I just absolutely love that. Whoever took that photo is like, wow, yeah. Love that image of the military there. And then it's so cool. It's Invictus Games says today, we not only remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice, but also the entire service community who have given so much. If any member of the service community would like to avail of our services, you simply need to sign up. And there in the link, if you're on X, just click the link. Or if you know someone who can use the services of Invictus Games, if you know a vet, especially a vet who's out there struggling, they need Invictus Games provides so many ways to get them help, including all the sports activities, not just the games every 2 years, but all through the year. All around the world, Invictus Games are there for the vets and provide so many ways to help them. So if you know anyone who are veterans, especially those who could use some help, please have them contact Invictus Games. They could sign up and get help. Invictus Games Birmingham 2027. I have to say, with all the stuff that has happened in last week with our election, all of a sudden I'm very grateful that it's not in the U.S. because I cannot imagine dealing with Trump and the games being in the U.S. in D.C. in 2027. So all of a sudden, Birmingham is a great idea. I have to eat my words and squash my feelings. So yeah. But Invictus Games Birmingham 2027, they posted, it says, on this Remembrance Day, we honor those who sacrifice so much health, peace, and sometimes even hope. Through the power of sport, the Invictus Games aim in some small way to give a piece of that back. And so they're posting a poppy at the bottom there. So thank you, Invictus Games, as usual. And again, the games coming up in Vancouver and Whistler in February of 2025. So like 3 months away. So anyway, I think that's all I got. I'm going to stay in the chat for a bit, see what you guys are saying, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's see. Lana says, Terry, there's so much food waste in every country. For example, Walmart, if their freezer shut down, instead of transporting all that food to food banks, instead they let it defrost and then dump it. Very true. Yeah. So there is a lot of food waste. There is a lot of food waste. That is definitely sure. So, I mean, yeah. So Lorna, I think, is probably all, this is a good thing in a way of giving to like charities like, the Felix Project and stuff. But again, there doesn't need to be there should not be this situation where there's food bank, because people are not making a living wage, and therefore they are always in this perpetual cycle of, we need to go to food banks for food to feed our family. Let's see. Madwell says, come 2025, I might need a food bank in the US. According to Elon Musk, Americans should expect temporary hardship under Trump. Yes, because, of course. Let's hope that doesn't happen, because Elon Musk says a whole lot of stupid things sometimes, but there is going to be hardship. We've all lived for 4 years under the first Trump administration, so I assume a lot of messed up stuff are going to be happening. So yeah, save everything you have. So yeah, you go. Church Nelly says, what are all the where is all that money going? I'm assuming you're talking about the royals. They hoard it. They're hoarders. They hoard money, is what they do. And so yeah, they hoard it to make sure they have it and you don't, is what they do. So, and I don't believe they say that it's 600 and something million. I think it's a lot more than that. Then you're not counting all that money Queen Elizabeth had in those tax shelters that she had. Remember what was it? I forgot the name of the papers it was called, where they found all her tax shelters. And then again, they literally have tax shelters, as we talked about Jersey Island and Guernsey. That's also their tax shelters. Heaven knows how much money they have in those tax shelters. And so yeah, the Paradise Papers, they were called, where she got exposed for all that money she has there. So I believe they have a lot more. This is only what they discovered so far. So, but if they keep pushing, I'm sure they'll find a lot more money that King Charles owns. On top of that, he owns property all over the place. So in different countries and stuff like that. So I think it's a lot more than that 600 and something million. This is the same man who, remember in Spare, where Prince Harry, when he told Prince Harry that he doesn't have money to cover and take care of Meghan as well, where Prince Harry was like, is he trying to tell me with all his money that he doesn't have enough money to take care of Meghan as well? And so yeah, that's what they do. They are very, very stingy people. Very, very stingy people. They would just hoard all their money. They don't care that you're starving. They'll just keep taking from you. Is who they are. And that's why people, especially the press, is so important that the press hold them to account. They will never hold themselves to account. They don't mind helping food banks. They don't mind doing all of those things because it makes them look good. Try to take some of their money away from them and see what they do. So this whole food bank stuff is like, yeah, well, I look good. It makes me look good. I don't mind donating unwanted stuff to that, of course. My question then for every reporter need to ask, those facilities where those food banks are, I want to know how much the rent they are paying and who that rent is going to. Because in light of the dispatches expose, we know that all of these people, especially where King Charles is patron of, they are paying rent. So I want to know the buildings where these food banks are and the facility, who their rent is going to, who they're paying rent to. And does King Charles get money from them? Is the land duchy owned? How much is King Charles profiting from these quote unquote food banks? That's what I want to know. And I hope that dispatches go back and find out. Because as we know, even charities that King Charles are a patron of, he is still bilking them for money. It's just so disgusting. I just can't even. It's just so disgusting. So, Bonnie says it's not going to cost them. They will probably collect the surplus from food or supermarkets. That's exactly. Especially the canned goods. Yeah. I mean, unbelievable. Let's see. I think also too, and I get. I mean, I totally get Lorna's like, not all food is expired, but is the idea that they even put, what is it? What is the article? It literally, this is in Sky News. It says they're gonna support charity that feed the nation with unwanted food. It's just the idea that you're going to tell people, this man who's fleecing you and taking all that taxpayer, they're going to give you unwanted food. I mean, it's just so despicable. The fact, and again, I guess they're not hiding it, so they put it right there. It is just, Karen says the food bank is not the answer to solving the problem when it comes to royal family. That is colonialism. Feeding the peasant continues. Exactly. Exactly. And I don't know why the press hasn't gone, especially in light of what the Channel 4 dispatches discovered. In light of that, why is this allowed? Why are you writing this article and not going after them and writing it as, oh, it's to mark the king's birthday, so it's a good thing. You should be happy. The king is celebrating with his birthday with you by giving you unwanted food. I mean, it's just, my goodness. My goodness. So, anyways, uh Cookies and Cream says that ungodly family need to be relentlessly dragged nonstop on social media platforms for their nefarious behavior. The entire world needs to know about the investigative reporting. Yeah, I mean, they are being dragged on social media every day, especially about this. But the people who need to care are so apathetic that it's like, oh, okay, I guess we'll just take the food. I mean, yeah. Terry says there are a lot of red tape to give just to give away leftover food. In the US, that is the case. I worked in the food industry, and it's so much red tape, so much so that as I think Lorna mentioned, they would dump the food. Where I worked, and I worked in catering for a couple of years, is it's so much red tape that people who, for example, if you have an event where I worked, you can eat the food in the establishment. You cannot take the food outside. They don't provide where you can take food, leftovers, whatever. You cannot eat the food outside the establishment. When we have staff meal, we have to eat the food in there. You cannot take it outside. Everything that is done is dumped. Everything that is, I mean, they definitely waste a lot of food because I think it's, come back for legal reasons, and people, if they get sick with the food, they can, they can sue and all of that stuff that goes into it. Even Meghan, if you remember the story, I think the creator of Suits even talked about when Meghan started working with the Felix Foundation. I think the Felix people also talked about it. When she works on set, I mean, if you've ever worked on a set, you know what craft service is. So craft service is all the food, where you get all the food that for the cast and crew. So what happens with the food when it's done? They dump it, because again, for legal reasons, they cannot just give the food out, because if somebody gets sick, they can sue them and all of that stuff that goes into it. And Meghan saw all that stuff was being dumped. It's like, well, why are we dumping it when people can use it? And she, so they told her, and so whatever it is, she was able to talk to the production people and talk them into delivering all that stuff to the Felix house. And so they got all that stuff from the Felix house. And so they, and Meghan, obviously we know the story of her working and really volunteering and all of that stuff, and getting all the food that was at craft services. And I've worked on sets, so craft service foods are great. So I love set food is great. But all of that gets dumped at the end, and she was able to get them to give that to Felix house. For me, that is fine. People could do stuff like that. But in terms of King Charles, this is a bigger issue. It's not just giving away unwanted food to people. The bigger issue is food banks are there because people like King Charles are taking the money that should be going to people to be able to be able to make a living wage and be able to afford their food, where they're not having to go to food banks or these places where they get, free things for their kids and all of that stuff. Yes, there's always going to be poor in the country, whatever. But this idea of then food banks becoming the norm, this is the problem. This is a problem. Food banks should never be the norm. It should be an exception. Yes, there are always going to be poor people where could go and get these services, and that is fine. But this is a country that is a very rich country that the rich are just taking so much that they're not leaving money for other people to make a living wage where they don't have to go to food banks. And this is it's a structural problem that is, again, it's just sickening. So I'm not saying that, it's not a good thing that companies who have food that, then otherwise would have thrown out, go to people in need. But you're creating more and more food banks because you're taking more and more money from people so they can't afford to have a living wage. And that is the problem. And that is the problem that I have with this whole thing. And it's just sickening that is allowed to go on with people that you didn't even elect to be in the positions that they're in. Only by birth, because of, the chance of birth, that these people are there and they're fleecing you of your money. That should never, ever be. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't want to be more upset about it than the British. Maxine says the British people will still sing God Gave the King, though. Yeah, God Save the King, though. Yeah, they are. They are. And yes, Karen, absolutely. The unwanted food is so degrading. Yes. It is so degrading. I mean, what do people do on that day? Go and have the king there and be like, we're so grateful for your unwanted food? This should never be the norm. Madwell says, unfortunately, food banks is a norm, especially around this time of year in the US when people's family below minimum wage. This should never be. The United States and the UK are too wealthy for this to be the norm. It's just, anyways. I mean, I guess, again, people in the UK, they don't really seem to care that much about it. And so maybe I shouldn't either. So anyway, that's it, guys. That's all I got. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the minute. I appreciate you. I know it was very impromptu, but I felt like I'd rather just talk to you instead of doing a recording and then posting it later. So I'm happy that we got this chance. Sorry I went off on King Charles and his food bank, but yeah. It's just craziness. I just can't. Anyways, thank you guys so much again. Thank you to our awesome moderators, Lydia, Church Nelly, Karen M, Cookies and Cream, Black Queen. Awesome as usual. I know a couple of you weren't here today, but that's fine. That's fine. Again, it was too impromptu and you got things to do, places to go, people to see. So there you go. Thank you guys for whoever were here. Thank you to our awesome 2 Cents crew who support the channel on a monthly basis. And those of you who also support in the chat, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I will chat with you next time. Bye.